Hello, Aries. Thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman. Illustrated by Gretchen. There's Gretchen's last name, in case you'd like to look up either of those people. Okay, Aries. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it feels like we're going through 4 parts already. So, alright. I mean, why not? I think we're good. Okay. Feels like we're going through 4 parts. Coming into the situation for Aries, I don't think it doesn't feel like anybody's happy, quite frankly. You've got bittersweet, kind of like the situation isn't a total washout, but you're not happy with what's happening. Whoever you're dealing with just seems like they're a frazzled mess. And maybe that's why it's bittersweet, because it's just kind of like they're all over the place, and they just seem to be upset about everything. And it's kind of like, I mean, you can handle it, but you're just not really wanting to. I just feel like it's kind of like you just relax, and they just can't seem to. The victim in the center is telling me, like, you understand that things went a way that weren't expected. It went somewhere that wasn't expected. The other person seems, there could be more than one person. It could be a bunch of people you're dealing with. Somebody else is upset because this did not go as planned. They're not happy with it. It's just a twist of fate that went south. It's kind of like, you buy that new house and then there's an earthquake and now there's a crack in the foundation and you're like, oh my God, we can't even afford to fix that. We don't have the insurance for it. Now what are we going to do? And it's kind of like, you understand it's a bad twist of fate. They just seem to be freaking out about it. You're trying to accept it, but they seem to be just like crazy about it. They're feeling completely defeated. Whoever you're dealing with, I just feel like they're not having the most productive moment. They're just freaking out. I just feel like they're freaking out for those of you this is hitting with. At least that's how it seems to you, like they're just freaking out. And you're feeling because they're losing it, and they're not able to get it together, you got to be the strong one at this point. Not that you can't be anyway, but it's just kind of like you feel like you're holding up the bridge all by yourself. That's kind of how this feels to me. Like I have to do everything here to keep it together, because if I fall apart, we're done. And so you do. You keep it together. And I feel like it takes a lot of communication. I feel like you have to try to pull this person in. I feel like that's another thing here. You're constantly trying to reel them in. But it's very hard to do. It's like a wild horse situation. You think you got it under control, then they buck it around a couple times, and then there they go. They're off again. It's like, I can't get this one in the barn, and you just can't get this one in the barn. It's just really hard. But you're trying. This is the first phase. So you're going through that. Oh, I just feel like it's not easy. It just doesn't feel like it's easy at all. My hands are cold. Jeez. I'm getting a really cold feeling all of a sudden. That's really interesting. Goes into the next phase, which is really weird to me. This has to stop, where at some point they got to get a hold of themselves. So when that passes, when they're finally done for the most part, freaking out, then all of a sudden they get ideas about what they want to happen next. And then I feel like they're off doing what they want, and they're not telling you what they're doing. You don't know what's going on. You don't know why they're doing what they're doing. I feel like they're holding things back from you, and they're trying to move this in a different direction. Like they're taking the same situation, and whoever was freaking out before has now got other ideas about what they want to do, and now they're trying to move it where they want it to go, and they're not keeping you in the loop. I know it says insecurity on your side, but I feel like it's kind of like you're not understanding, like, why aren't they telling you what they're doing? Why aren't they including you in this? And they're off doing what they want to do. It just makes no sense to you, is what I'm getting. And you are feeling left out of it, but it does seem a little bit cracked. It seems a little cracked. Kind of like, what are you doing? I'm getting, like, even though it's the Six of Cups, I feel like they're trying to move things back, or it's almost like they're trying to rewind the clock. Almost the reason they're not telling you what's going on here is because they're trying to go back to something that may not be possible. I don't know. This doesn't feel right to me. This feels really strange. Like, the way they're treating this, they're really, like, they got the trickery card here, and I almost feel like they're tricking themselves into thinking they can fix this easily, and it's not really fixable that way. And I feel like that's the reason they're not telling you, because they're bullshitting themselves. And if you find out what they're doing, you're going to call it out and be like, you can't do that. That makes no sense. Like you're kidding yourself if you think that's going to work. But that's why they're not bringing it forward, because they don't want you to tell them the truth. And they're kind of tricking themselves into believing they can have this easy way out of this situation. They're looking back at the history of the situation. They're trying to find an easy way out of it. That's what I feel like they're trying to do. They're not telling you this because you'll blow it right in. You'll be like, no, you can't. No, we bought this house 2 years ago. You can't force the buyers to take it back, or the sellers to take it back. Like, it's been 2 years. You're like, no, that's not going to work. But they're trying to find a loophole, like, no, they have to take it back because they shouldn't have sold it to us anyway. You're like, no, that's not reality. That's not going to work. But you don't know that, because that's why they're not telling you, because you'll be like, no, that's not real. You can't do that. That's not going to happen. That's not going to work. Okay, so that's phase 2. Into phase 3. They're looking for any loophole, and I'm seeing them completely disconnected from you at this point, I'm noticing. They've got renewal here. They're finding a better way to deal with the situation. It's like they were freaking out in the beginning. They're trying to find a way to get out of it in the second phase. Now the third phase, they're like, no, this can still work. There's a crack in the foundation, but we can find a different way to handle this. We'll be fine. They just seem to have this very, like, I don't know. Is it right or wrong? I don't know. Instead of trying to back out now, they're trying to own it. They're trying to see an upside to this. I don't feel like it's completely bad. I don't know what to say about this. Because they seem to have a renewed faith in the situation that fell apart. Like, it had a really bad moment. They have a renewed moment of faith. Ironically, at this point, you're just kind of like, I feel like you're kind of trying to get, I'm trying to understand what's going on here. You do have vanity on your side, but let's see how it hits first. Like, let's not worry about it until we read it. You got the 5 of Swords, which is kind of like the fruitless win. And then you got the prayer here, like, you would like to believe that what they were feeling was on point. You don't really believe in what they're selling you. You don't believe in it. You're just kind of like, no, that's a big deal. That's a crack in the foundation. Like, that's going to go up the walls. That's going to just, like, we're going to have major problems. We need to do something about that, and I'm not sure what to do about it. It looks really expensive to me. They seem to be all of a sudden having all these positive vibes about it, and you're just not feeling it. I'm getting the vanity here, but I feel like you're having a hard time understanding their angle. You're like, that just seems like a load of bull. That just seems like really ridiculous. I feel like you're kind of letting them have their moment, but you don't believe in it at all. You don't believe in it. And I feel like that's what they're saying. It's really hard for you to really believe what they're thinking or what they're saying. You're just kind of like, it's almost like, well, at least you're not freaking out, so you go over there and have that thought, because at least you're not freaking out, and I don't have to deal with that right now. But I really think I think you're smoking something, because I feel like they're smoking something. I don't know what they're thinking that's going to work for. You do have prayer here too, kind of like you'd love for it to be that easy of a fix. You're not against that. You just think it's bull. You just think it's like, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't think so. This may go better than expected. This may go better than expected. The third phase, I feel like when you're moving out of this phase, I feel like you have to get connected with this person a little better, and you're like, all right, tell me what you think we can do here. You have to hear them out, but at the same time, you don't want to put them back in this freaked out phase. You don't want to put them back there. So you're like, all right, let me hear what you got, and then you're just giving it an honest, like, walking through it. You're just giving it an honest walkthrough, because you're like, you don't want to freak them out again. So you're like, if there's something positive out of this, I want to find it. I want to at least make them feel like I'm on their side, even though I don't really believe in this, but I don't want them to freak out. So let's just hear it out. And that's kind of where you're going with this, which ironically I feel like really benefits you. Because I'm seeing like when that third phase moves on and you're just like, I don't believe in this crap at all. And you're just like, I need to find the angle to make them feel like I'm at least listening to them. You're discovering some possibilities. And I feel like you're really kind of like, well, all right, the foundation has a problem now. But they found some people, and there's some grants they found. And like, well, I don't know if that completely works for us, but there is something here we could do. And you know what? Maybe there's at least a livable way to fix this for now. Let's look into it. And you're finding possibilities here you're not expecting. I feel like it's kind of like, to me, it almost feels like it's the Tower card without the Tower falling over. The Tower already fell over before. This is kind of like the shock of the rebuilding, or the shock of an opportunity that you're not really expecting. You got discovery here, and you've got the Queen, not the Queen, what is this? The Princess of Swords. It's training to be Queen energy, though. You have to figure it out. Like, this is saying all the answers are not there. That's why this card is here. But you're getting like a possibility, like there's something here I can do about this. Some type of relief effort, some type of something that you were like, I didn't think we had a prayers, or I didn't think we had a snowball's chance in hell to get out of this situation. But now, maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. Maybe there are possibilities here. Your partner or person you're working with, whoever this is, they have to show you everything. They have to show you everything they found, absorb everything. See every little nuance that they're seeing, find out what's going on here so you can move forward with this. Because I'm getting there is chance for recovery here that's not expected. You have to be completely engaged for this to have a success, though. And it depends on your situation, how far that success can go. This is telling me if they completely give it to you, completely what they're seeing, what they're thinking, just absorb it. Because there's a lot of opportunities here that were not expected. Maybe not the complete success you would like, but still better than what you were dealing with. So let's find out what it is what I'm getting. All right, I think we're good. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.